G'day guitar lovers of the internet, Ollie Royer here, and today we're going to have a little bit of fun. We're going to see if this Epiphone Prophecy Flying V can handle being put in drop B for some down tune riffage. For those of you who aren't aware, and you probably aren't, when I was younger, still living in Perth, Western Australia, I used to play in a metalcore band called Cloak and Dagger. Look, we didn't take over the world like we were planning to, or like most up-and-coming bands that you're younger. You hope that happens, but we did put out a release which, to this date, I'm still very, very proud of. It was called the Balance EP, and look, life goes on, things fizzle out, different band members move on to different things. But recently, Jordan, the frontman of the band, who's still to this day is a dear friend of mine, he reached out and he said, "You know what? Just for a bit of fun, let's rework some of our old tunes that we might not have released, and let's just have some fun with it." And I thought, that sounds incredible. Like, who doesn't want to, revisit their old like metal riffage that you used to do? But I don't really own any guitars nowadays that I would want to down tune, except for this bad boy. So yeah, like I said, we're just going to see how it handles it, going to try and intonate it as well as I can, and most importantly, see how it sounds as well. For the purpose of the demo, we're going to be putting, hopefully that focuses, we're going to be putting a set of DR 12 to 60 drop down tuning strings. So without any further ado, watch on, let's see how this bad boy handles it. Alright, we're back now. Admittedly, I did get sidetracked, so it's now 2 days later, but that's probably a good thing, because it means that the strings have had a chance to, properly settle in onto the guitar. And to be honest, I'm actually pleasantly surprised with how well the guitar handled it, considering I didn't really prepare the guitar for it properly. So probably one of the major things is that at this point I could probably, park a truck underneath the bottom string and camp out there for the night. So, typically if you're down tuning your guitar with a really, really thick string on the bottom, a lot of people will even get like a 7-string set, just throw out the 6th string and put the 7th on the bottom. Typically you will file down the nut slot so that the action, is still nice and low comparatively. At the moment, not really the case, but I'm probably not going to keep it in drop B. So I wouldn't make that adjustment. And funnily enough, the nut obviously isn't really, really glued down out of the factory, or at least it wasn't on this guitar, because as I was tuning up from the bottom to the top, the nut actually started to get pulled off the fretboard. Purely from the tension of this big fat 60 gauge string on the bottom. I was able to, push it back on with my thumb and tune it up as I went. It's holding steady now that, all the strings are on it. Yep, we got locking tuners, which, allowed me to tune it up like that, and they appear to be holding. And the intonation, minimal adjustments there. And interestingly enough, one last thing before we actually listen to what the thing sounds like, I'm very excited for that. It was one of those happy situations where, because we went from E standard 10 to 46 to drop B, 60 to 12, I didn't need to adjust the truss rod because, even though there was a huge shift in tension, huge shift in string gauge, it was sort of counteracted by the lower tension of the tuning. So yeah, Now, let's answer the question, can the Epiphone Prophecy V with a set of Fishman Fluence active pickups handle drop B? We're going to chuck it through my 5150 6L6. This is Generation 1 model. And let's see how it sounds. Will it handle it? All right. Alright, honestly, that sounds pretty damn brutal. It's not... look, it's down-tuned sludgy metal, so unless we're doing clean stuff, I'm not even going to bother trying to use the neck pickup. But the bridge pickup seems to be handling, you know, the drop tune, and I feel like, you know, even with like a thicker chord... There's still a decent amount of clarity. I can get some, you know, pinch harmonic. And yeah, intonates quite well up here on the bottom string. Beautiful. So I guess that answers the question. I'm looking forward to, you know, reviving some old tracks with this now. Let me know what you thought in the comments, whether you think it handled it, and if you'd like to see any other experiments as well. Thanks for hanging out today, guys. My name's Ollie Royer, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.